So teamwork apparently makes the dream work, or that's what we're often told. However, my experience working with a lot of organisations is very few organisations spend a lot of significant time really looking at how they can optimise their teams in terms of team development. So today's video is really looking at some of the options you have around team development. We're going to look at it at a surface level initially, and then I may do some follow-up videos based on the feedback I get. But if you think about most work is done effectively in teams. It's very rare that individual contributors can complete activities end to end. It's almost inconceivable now in today's complex world that a team of people is required. And it won't just be one team, it'll probably be multiple teams connected to drive some kind of value in the organisation. So given that's how work gets done through teams, it does seem sometimes surprising then that there's not more investment in actually how our teams built, but also how our teams developed. And again, very complex. If you were to Google team development, there'd be hundreds of millions of probably books to read and articles. So I'm trying to give you a bit of a sense of maybe some simple frames to look at. So I think the first thing to talk about is when you think about teams and team development, I think there's really two lenses initially to look at. So first of all, I think you need to look at inter-team. So inter-team development is about the relationship between different teams. So it's where you've got two or more teams and how do they work together. So inter-team development. And again, very little value can be created with a single team. Most teams have to work with other teams to get things done. So inter-team development is the first area that I tend to look at with clients. And the second area to look at, which is one where people often default to first, is this idea of intra-team development. And this is within the team. So it's a single team, but then it's the constituent parts of that team. In terms of then today, I want to talk a little bit more about this idea of the inter-team development. So what's that really about? So inter-team development is about how do you maximize the value of these separate teams working together to achieve whatever the outcome is. And really there's three things those teams need to think about in terms of how they work together. So there's the concept of coordination. So effectively, how do they work together with shared resources, with shared information to deliver value? So what's the level that they can coordinate? There's something about information exchange. So how is information flowing through the organisation, through these teams? There's also the level of collaboration. So coordination and collaboration are two very different things. You can think of coordination as almost the scheduling. How do we make sure we can connect the bits of our teams together so that the work flows through it? Whereas collaboration is much more to a relational, intellectual level. You need both, but I would say coordination is quite transactional. Collaboration is the higher order behaviour. So you can have teams that are coordinated but are low collaboration. What you're looking for is highly coordinated, highly collaborative teams.